Question number 101. Shall include, at the minimum, child prostitution, child pornography and other forms of sexual exploitation, child labor, forced labor or services, slavery or practices similar to slavery, servitude, removal and sale of organs, use in illicit illegal activities, and participation in armed conflict. The hiring, employment, persuasion, inducement, or coercion of a child to perform in obscene exhibitions and indecent shows, whether live or in video or film, or to pose or act as a model in obscene publications or pornographic materials, or to sell or distribute said materials. The answer is exploitation. Question number 102. Is a system where all warrants of arrest are electronically stored and documented so that they can be accessed through the internet by all police units nationwide. The answer is e-warrant. Question number 103. The means sanctioned by the rules of court, of ascertaining in a judicial proceeding the truth respecting a matter of fact. These include but are not limited to documentary, testimonial, electronic and object evidence, gathered in the course of the investigation. The answer is evidence. Question number 104. The act of allowing one to be involved in a certain issue or conversation that will lead to exchange of information or interest. The answer is engagement. Question number 105. In order that a dying declaration may be admissible, the following requisites must concur. 1. It must concern the crime involved in the circumstances surrounding the declarant's death. 2. At the time of the declaration, the declarant must be conscious of impending death. 3. The declarant must be competent as a witness. 4. The declaration must be offered in a criminal case for homicide, murder, or parricide in which the declarant was the victim. In order that a dying declaration may be admissible, the following requisites must concur. 1. It must concern the crime involved in the circumstances surrounding the declarant's death. 2. At the time of the declaration, the declarant must be conscious of impending death. 3. The declarant must be competent as a witness. 4. The declaration must be offered in a criminal case for homicide, murder, or parricide in which the declarant was the victim. Question number 106. Is a police operation purposely to seal off the probable exit points of fleeing suspects from the crime scene to prevent their escape? The answer is dragnet operation. Question number 107. Refers to serious disruption of the functioning of a community or a society involving widespread human, material, economic or environmental losses and impacts, which exceeds the ability of the affected community or society to cope using its own resources. The answer is disaster incident. Disaster is often described as a result of the combination of the exposure to a hazard, the conditions of vulnerability that are present, and insufficient capacity or measures to reduce or cope with the potential negative consequences. Disaster impacts may include loss of life, injury, disease and other negative effects on human, physical, mental and social well-being, together with damage to property, destruction and environmental degradation. Question number 108. An exceptional, damaging or destructive event which causes serious loss, destruction, hardship, unhappiness, injuries or deaths. The answer is disaster. Question number 109. A restraint of personal liberty or deprivation of freedom of action in any significant manner. The answer is detention. Question number 110. Or threats posed by the destabilizers, which include military uprisings, sabotage of key installations, etc. Or a combination thereof, undertaken separately or jointly by anti-government forces from the left and the right of the political spectrum. These critical incidents, backed oftentimes by disgruntled uniformed personnel and politicians with vested interests, are undertaken primarily to undermine the present leadership, thereby rendering it unstable and incapable of effective governance or surviving, with the end in view of averting the status quo to replace the government. The answer is destabilization. Question number 111. PNP personnel who have the sole responsibility of storing and safekeeping data recorded from body-worn cameras. The answer is data custodian. Question number 112. Refers to a computer or a computer network, the electronic medium in which online communication takes place. The answer is cyber. Question number 113. Refers to a crime committed through special knowledge of computer technology or any crime committed using a computer as a tool. The answer is cybercrime. Question number 114. Are warrants issued by the courts relating to the disclosure, interception, search, seizure and/or examination, as well the custody and destruction of computer data, as provided for under Republic Act 10,175, otherwise known as Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, and the Supreme Court rule on cybercrime warrants? The answer is cyber or cybercrime warrants. Question number 115. Investigation conducted by law enforcement officers after a person has been arrested or deprived of his freedom of action. It includes invitation to a person who is being investigated in connection with an offense. The answer is custodial investigation. Question number 116. Formerly known as detention facilities, are facilities within PNP premises that are used to hold arrested persons under custodial investigation. The answer is custodial facilities. Question number 117. Is any emergency event, whether man-made or natural, that requires the implementation of special tasks by one or more of the urgent services of the government and will generally include the involvement, either directly or indirectly, of the Philippine National Police? It is a crucial and rapid intervention point at the acute phase of a crisis. The answer is critical incident. Question number 118. Requisites. Under Article 4, Paragraph 1 of the Revised Penal Code, a person may be held criminally liable even if the injurious result be greater than that intended, provided these requisites concur. 1. An intentional felony has been committed. 2. The wrong done to the victim be the direct, natural, and logical consequence of the felony committed. The answer is criminal liability. Question number 119. It is the collection of facts in order to accomplish the threefold aims: to identify the guilty party, to locate the guilty party, and to provide evidence of his suspect guilt. The answer is criminal investigation. Question number 120. The essential requisites components of a criminal case are the following: a crime committed, an offended victim, an offender overt actor, an information for public crimes or a complaint for private crimes filed in court. A court of competent jurisdiction that issued, after a preliminary examination called judicial determination of probable cause, an order of commitment after inquest proceedings or a warrant of arrest after regular preliminary investigation. If the crime does not reach the court for trial on the merits, there is no case. Question number 121. An incident which, after investigation, developed into a crime after undergoing the due process requirements of the Philippine Constitution, the Philippine criminal justice system, the rules of criminal procedure and the rules of evidence. The answer is criminal case. Question number 122. Acts or omissions that are violations of the RPC and offenses which are violation of special laws. The answer is crimes. Question number 123. Is the conduct of processes, more particularly the recognition, search, collection, handling, preservation and documentation of physical evidence to include identification of witnesses and arrest of suspects at the crime scene? The answer is crime scene investigation. Question number 124. A venue or place where the alleged crime incident event has been committed. The answer is crime scene. Question number 125. Formerly the e-blotter system that sets a standard procedure by which all crime incidents reported to the police stations are electronically stored in a database. The system does not only facilitate crime documentation and storage but also presents a quick, fast, and reliable transmission of crime information from a particular police station to the national headquarters at Camp Brigadier General Rafael T. Crame, Quezon City. The answer is Crime Information, Reporting and Analysis System, CIRAS. Question number 126. Latin for the body of the crime, it is the legal term used to describe physical or material evidence that a crime has been committed, such as the corpse of a murder victim or the cleaned of a torched building. It is used to refer to the underlying principle that, without evidence of a crime having been committed, it would be unjust to convict someone. The answer is corpus delicti. Question number 127. A generic term covering all goods exported from or imported into the country contrary to applicable statutes. The answer is contraband. Question number 128. A proactive plan to include measures and procedures addressing various threat levels, risk assessments and the associated security measures to be implemented, designed to anticipate and mitigate events as well as prepare all concerned parties having roles and responsibilities in the event of an actual act of unlawful interference. The answer is contingency plan. A contingency plan sets forth incremental security measures that may be elevated as the threat increases. It may be a standalone plan or included as part of a crisis management plan. Question number 129. People who have had exposure, lived with, worked with, or cared for exposure to a confirmed case. The answer is contacts. Question number 130. Identification and diagnosis of persons who may have come into contact with an infected person. It plays an important role in containing outbreaks of infectious diseases. The answer is contact tracing. Question number 131. Shall refer to as the coordinating measures taken in order to react and to reduce the impact of the effects of a security-related incident, in particular resulting from terrorist attacks, disasters, catastrophes and accidents. To ensure a smooth coordination of crisis management and security actions. The answer is consequence management. Question number 132. It is an express acknowledgement by the accused in a criminal prosecution of the truth of his guilt as to the offense charged, while admission refers to statements of fact not directly constituting an acknowledgement of guilt. The answer is confession. Question number 133. A concise statement of the ultimate facts constituting the plaintiff's cause or causes of action. The answer is complaint. Question number 134. A party or person who makes a complaint or file a formal charge in the court of law. The answer is complainant. Question number 135. An officer of a court of justice who has charge of the clerical part of its business, who keeps its record and seal, issues process, enters judgment and orders, gives certified copies from the records and the like. The answer is clerk of court. While the clerk of court belongs to the judicial district is distinguished from the executive or legislative branch of the government, his office is essentially a ministerial one. Question number 136. Cases involving crimes committed by minors which were initially taken cognizance of by the police but later referred to other government agencies for counseling diversion programs, as provided by Republic Act 9344, otherwise known as the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act. The answer is children in conflict with the law (CICL) cases. Question number 137. Refers to a child who participated directly in armed hostilities through support roles such as scouts, spies, saboteurs, decoys, checkpoint assistants, couriers, messengers, porters, cooks or as sexual objects. The answer is child involved in armed conflict (CIAC). Question number 138. Refers to a child who is vulnerable to and at the risk of committing criminal offenses because of personal, family and social circumstances, such as, but not limited to the following: being abused by any person through sexual, physical, psychological, mental, economic or any other means and the parents or guardian refuse, are unwilling, or unable to provide protection for the child. Being exploited including sexually or economically. Being abandoned or neglected, and after diligent search and inquiry, the parent or guardian cannot be found. Coming from a dysfunctional or broken family or without a parent or guardian. Being out of school. Being a street child. Being a member of a gang. Living in a community with a high level of criminality or drug abuse. Living in situations of armed conflict. Being in any other similar situation. The answer is child at risk (CAR). Question number 139. Refers to a child who is alleged as, accused of, or adjudged as, having committed an offense under Philippine laws. The answer is child in conflict with the law (CICL). Question number 140. Refers to the infliction of physical or psychological injury, cruelty to or neglect, sexual abuse or exploitation of a child. The answer is child abuse. Question number 141. Shall refer to a person below 18 years of age or one over said age and who, upon evaluation of a qualified physician, psychologist or psychiatrist, is found to be incapable of taking care of himself fully because of a physical or mental disability or condition or of protecting himself from abuse as defined under Republic Act 7610, otherwise known as an act providing for stronger deterrence and special protection against child abuse, exploitation and discrimination, and for other purposes. In relation to Republic Act 9262, otherwise known as an act defining violence against women and their children, providing for protective measures for victims, prescribing penalties therefor, and for other purposes, it includes the biological children of the victim and other children under her care. The answer is children. Question number 142. Shall be the head of offices, units or stations. The answer is Chief Custodial Facility. Question number 143. The duly recorded authorized movements and custody of seized drugs or controlled precursors and essential chemicals or plant sources of dangerous drugs or laboratory equipment at each stage, from the time of seizure confiscation to receipt in the forensic laboratory to safekeeping to presentation in court and destruction. Such records of movements and custody of seized items shall include the identity and signature of the person who held temporary custody of the seized item, the dates and times when such transfers of custody were made in the course of safekeeping and use in court as evidence in the final disposition. The answer is chain of custody. Question number 144. A dog, Canis familiaris, more commonly used as an explosive detection working dog and sometimes abbreviated as K9. The answer is K9. Question number 145. An event that brings terrible loss, lasting distress, or severe affliction. The answer is calamity. Question number 146. Is an entrapment technique employed by a peace officer as an effective way of apprehending a criminal in the act of the commission of the offense? The answer is buy-bust operation. Question number 147. Any incident which uses a device constructed with criminal intent and using high explosives, low explosives, or blasting agents explodes. This term also refers to incidents where premature detonation occurs during preparation, transportation, or placement of a constructed device. The answer is bombing. Question number 148. Is either a written or verbal threat communicated through electronic, oral or other means that threatens to place or use an IED at a certain time, date or place against any person or place? The answer is bomb threat. Question number 149. A systematic reaction performed wherein render safe procedures and or techniques are applied by certified bomb technicians to prevent or mitigate the functioning of a hazardous device, material and respond to all forms of explosive-related incidents. The answer is bomb incident emergency response. Question number 150. Is a container filled with explosives, incendiary material, smoke, gas, or other destructive substances, designed to explode. It can appear obvious or concealed and it can vary in size, shape, sophistication and may not necessarily explode, such as in the case of incendiary and dirty bombs. It may be referred to as improvised explosives device, IED, or ordnance. The answer is bomb. Question number 151. An electronic camera system designated to law enforcement units for creating, generating, sending, receiving, storing, displaying and processing audiovisual recordings that may be worn during law enforcement activities. The answer is body-worn camera, BWC. Body-worn camera, an electronic camera system designated to law enforcement units for creating, generating, sending, receiving, storing, displaying and processing audiovisual recordings that may be worn during law enforcement activities. Question number 152. Implies a particular kind of bond, that is to say, a bond given to secure the personal liberty of one held in restraint upon a criminal or quasi-criminal charge. The answer is bail. Question number 153. Process of identifying, labeling and securing electronic devices seized from the cybercrime scene. The answer is bag and tag. Question number 154. A person or persons, or a body, exercising power or command for those upon whom the people have conferred authority. The answer is authority. Question number 155. Intent is a quality of the mind and implies a purpose only, while attempt implies an effort to carry that purpose into execution. The answer is attempt. Question number 156. Means physical injuries. It does not refer to the crime of direct assault in Article 148 of the Revised Penal Code. The answer is assault. Question number 157. Is defined as the intentional or malicious destruction of a property by fire. It is also defined as the criminal burning of property. The answer is arson. Question number 158. It is the taking of a person into custody in order that he may be bound to answer for the commission of an offense. The answer is arrest. Question number 159. A person who has been appointed as chief of mission and has served as ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary. The answer is ambassador. Question number 160. An electronic camera system which is not a body-worn camera, that is capable of creating, generating, sending, receiving, storing, displaying, and processing audiovisual recordings, and may be worn during law enforcement activities. It may be used as a substitute for body-worn cameras in case of unavailability. The answer is alternative recording device. Question number 161. It leaves the truth of the averment an open question. The answer is alleged. The word alleged or allegedly connotes something claimed. Question number 162. Written measures adopted to safeguard international civil aviation against acts of unlawful interference. The answer is Airport Security Program. Question number 163. Any area which is open for commercial aircraft operations. The answer is airport. Question number 164. Is the PNP Crime Laboratory's computerized system that captures, matches, compares, identifies and verifies stored digitized fingerprints. The answer is AFIS Automated Fingerprint Identification System. Question number 165. Summary judgment. The kind of affidavit necessary to support a summary judgment is that affidavit from which it may be clearly drawn that certain facts pleaded by either party are certain, undisputed and indubitable which dispense with the hearing or trial of the case. The answer is affidavit. Question number 166. Process of granting recognition to an organization that had passed or complied with the requirements or standards set forth by the accrediting office. The answer is accreditation. Question number 167. The elements constituting the crime of abduction are the following. 1. The person kidnapped must be a woman. It is immaterial if she is a widow, a married woman or virgin, as all three classes are within the generic term of woman. 2. The crime must be committed against her will. 3. It must be committed with unchaste designs, that is, with the intention of lying with the woman. Question number 168. Regardless of the type of function to be performed and/or police operations to be conducted, all PNP personnel must know by heart and shall comply with and apply the principles and procedures. The answer is strategic guidelines. Question number 169. The responsibility of every police officer is to serve the public and protect life and property. The answer is to serve and protect. Question number 170. All PNP personnel shall respect and uphold the human rights and dignity of all persons at all times. The answer is to respect human rights and dignity of person. Question number 171. Powers and functions of the Philippine National Police. Republic Act 6975, Department of the Interior and Local Government Act of 1990. Section 24. Powers and functions. The PNP shall have the following powers and functions. 1. Enforce all laws and ordinances relative to the protection of lives and properties. 2. Maintain peace and order and take all necessary steps to ensure public safety. 3. Investigate and prevent crimes, effect the arrest of criminal offenders, bring offenders to justice and assist in their prosecution. 4. Exercise the general powers to make arrest, search and seizure in accordance with the Constitution and pertinent laws. 5. Detain an arrested person for a period not beyond what is prescribed by law, informing the person so detained of all his/her rights under the Constitution. 6. Issue licenses for the possession of firearms and explosives in accordance with law. 7. Supervise and control the training and operations of security agencies and issue licenses to operate security agencies, and to security guards and private detectives, for the practice of their professions. 8. Perform such other duties and exercise all other functions as may be provided by law. Powers and functions of the Philippine National Police. Republic Act 6975, Department of the Interior and Local Government Act of 1990. Section 24. Powers and functions. The PNP shall have the following powers and functions. 1. Enforce all laws and ordinances relative to the protection of lives and properties. 2. Maintain peace and order and take all necessary steps to ensure public safety. 3. Investigate and prevent crimes, effect the arrest of criminal offenders, bring offenders to justice and assist in their prosecution. 4. Exercise the general powers to make arrest, search and seizure in accordance with the Constitution and pertinent laws. 5. Detain an arrested person for a period not beyond what is prescribed by law, informing the person so detained of all his/her rights under the Constitution. 6. Issue licenses for the possession of firearms and explosives in accordance with law. 7. Supervise and control the training and operations of security agencies and issue licenses to operate security agencies, and to security guards and private detectives, for the practice of their professions. 8. Perform such other duties and exercise all other functions as may be provided by law. Question number 172. A police officer shall always wear the prescribed uniform for the kind of police operation to be undertaken. The answer is agency prescribed uniform. Question number 173. When wearing the police uniform, a police officer shall, at all times, appear to look presentable, respectable, smart, and well-groomed. A police officer shall refrain from doing unnecessary activities and/or actions while on duty. The answer is appearing before the public. Question number 174. Every police officer on patrol, whether on board a vehicle or on foot patrol, shall always carry with him/her issued firearm, and other equipment such as but not limited to restraint devices, impact device and personal protective equipment. He/she shall also use other accessories required for the specific police operation being conducted. The answer is carrying of basic police equipment. Question number 175. Categories of police operations. The following are the categories of police operations. 1. Patrol operations. 2. Law enforcement operations. 3. Internal security operations. 4. Public safety operations. 5. Special police operations. 6. Investigation operations. 7. Police community relations. The following are the categories of police operations. 1. Patrol operations. 2. Law enforcement operations. 3. Internal security operations. 4. Public safety operations. 5. Special police operations. 6. Investigation operations. 7. Police community relations. Question number 176. The most basic police function and known as the backbone of policing. The answer is patrol operations. Question number 177. Include service of warrant of arrest, implementation of search warrant, enforcement of visitatorial powers of the chiefs of police, and other anti-criminality operations. The answer is law enforcement operations. Question number 178. Include counterterrorism operations and similar operations against other threat groups that are conducted to ensure internal security. The answer is internal security operations. Question number 179. Include critical incident management procedures, search, rescue and retrieval operations, hostage situation, civil disturbance management operation, management of health hazards and other operations that promote public safety. The answer is public safety operations. Question number 180. Include high-risk checkpoint and roadblock operation, police assistance in the implementation of order from the court and other quasi-judicial bodies, security to major and special events, aircraft hijacking operations, visit, board, search and seizure of marine vessels, and similar police operations that are conducted by police units with specialized training on the peculiarity of the mission or purpose. The answer is special police operations. Question number 181. Include investigation of crime or incident, scene of the crime operations, SOCO, administrative investigation and other investigative work necessary to determine facts and circumstances for filing cases criminally or administratively. The answer is investigation operations. Question number 182. Include three interrelated dimensions to accomplish its mission, namely, community affairs and development, public information, and information development operations to forge partnership and strengthen collaboration and linkages with the community. The answer is police-community relations. Question number 183. All PNP personnel shall respect and uphold the human rights and dignity of all persons at all times. Question number 184. This clearance must be approved by their chief commander, head of office, unit and must be submitted at the operations section, division of the concerned operating police units for record purposes. The answer is pre-operational clearance. In all planned police operations, the team leader of the operating teams shall secure a pre-operation clearance prior to the conduct of operation. Question number 185. The operations officer or team leader (STL) of local police units (LPUs) operating outside their territorial jurisdiction and national support units (NSUs) shall, whenever practicable, coordinate personally at any level of police offices, police regional office (PRO), to municipal police station (MPS), or other friendly units within whose jurisdiction the operation is to be conducted. The answer is inter-office coordination. Question number 186. Prior to the launching of the operation, except in cases where the formal, in writing inter-unit coordination cannot be made due to the nature and/or urgency of the situation, such as, but not limited to, cross-jurisdiction pursuit operations, coordination should be made formally using the prescribed coordination form, which shall be filed with the concerned operation center of the police regional, provincial or city police office and police stations. The answer is coordination by filing coordination form. Question number 187. In cases where formal inter-unit coordination is not feasible, the police unit concerned shall endeavor to notify the local police unit (LPU) through any practical available means of communication, including but not limited to electronic or signal communication, at any time before the operation, and shall accomplish and furnish the LPU a written incident report immediately after the termination of the operation. The answer is coordination by practical, available means of communication. Question number 188. Basic requirements. Police operations such as but not limited to arrest, search and seizure, checkpoint, roadblocks, and civil disturbance management shall, whenever applicable and practicable, be conducted as follows. A. With a marked police vehicle. B. Led by a police commissioned officer (PCO) or the most senior police non-commissioned officer (PNCO) in the absence of unavailability of a PCO. C. With personnel in prescribed police uniforms except for covert operatives when serving a warrant of arrest, provided personnel in uniform shall be present during the arrest. D. With the use of body-worn cameras, BWCs, and/or alternative recording devices, ARDs, during the conduct of searches and arrests. Question number 189. During actual police intervention operations, the team leader shall use peaceful means, including the use of megaphones or any other similar instruments, devices to warn or influence the offenders or suspects to stop and/or peacefully surrender. The answer is use of megaphones and similar instruments, devices. Question number 190. A police officer may carry or use accessories appropriate to the police operation being performed. Accessories may include ballistic vest, handheld radio, first aid kit, flashlight, handcuff, whistle, and non-lethal equipment including but not limited to baton, truncheon, and nightstick to be used in a non-armed confrontation with a violent, uncooperative, and unruly offender. The answer is accessories. Guidelines in the use of body-worn camera. A. Chain of custody over the recordings in the execution of arrest and search. The chain of custody over the recordings shall at all times be preserved from improper access, review, and tampering. It shall cover the following events. 1. Recording of the footage using the body-worn cameras, alternative recording devices. 2. Turnover of the body-worn cameras, alternative recording devices used by the arresting or searching team, or of the data by the media representative to the data custodian to which they belong. 3. Downloading of the data by the data custodian. 4. Redaction of personal identities by the data custodian or his/her representative, whenever applicable. 5. Retrieval of recording data and their transfer to an external media storage device by the data custodian. 6. Submission and delivery of the recordings contained in an external media storage device to the court. B. The body-worn camera alternative recording device shall be used, activated during the conduct of arrest, search and whenever practicable, in cases of warrantless arrests. The rules on the use of body-worn camera under Administrative Matter Number. The 8th of June 21 Supreme Court shall be observed. C. The body-worn camera alternative recording device shall not be used, activated in the following circumstances. 1. In police facilities unless in an official capacity, or as part of an investigation procedure. 2. Conduct of any personal activity, in any location where individuals have a reasonable expectation of privacy, such as restrooms, locker rooms, or break rooms. As a reminder, there is potential criminal and civil liability if this restriction is violated. 3. Conduct of any personal activity in locations where individuals have reasonable expectations of privacy, such as in residences, unless the recording is being made pursuant to a valid arrest or search warrant of the individuals or locations. 4. During strip or body cavity searches when such is necessary as provided in the warrant. 5. Conduct of tactical planning before the planned operation. 6. Intentionally activated to record conversations, communications between PNP personnel without their knowledge during routine, and other non-law enforcement related activities. 7. Between confidential informants or undercover officers. 8. Privileged communications between the subject of recordings and other individuals, such as attorneys, members of the clergy, peer support counselors and medical professionals. 9. While on the grounds of any public, private or parochial elementary or secondary school, hospitals, churches and other places of worship except when responding to an imminent threat to life or health. 10. Other circumstances as may be provided by the trial court issuing the warrant which is part of constitutional privilege and where the dignity of an individual may outweigh the public necessity for recording.